Hello and welcome to Mad Over Sports presents Sports Talks. Ish, we are in the episode number three of Sports Talks, and this episode is totally different from what has come all these times. For the very first time, we are going to discuss about the football tournaments and the matches that have gone through. The season just ended currently on this weekend. So I have with me Mohak, who is also a big football fan and a Manchester United fan, as you can see, as one I am as well. And thank you so much, Mohak, for coming up and having a word over this.
Yeah, of course. Anytime to talk about United, always.
That is fantastic. Means looking at the Premier Leagues and stuff. We'll come on to the Premier League, but we're just here to just normally chit chat about how the leagues have gone through and how the positions have been. So let's first talk about the La Liga, which was the most interesting as far as the last season concerned. And the trophy, the champions weren't decided till the very end, till the last day itself. There was a competition between the Madrid teams as well as Barca into it, but it eventually landed up for Atletico Madrid, which won the title after around 7 or 8 years, if I'm not wrong. So, what was your say? Means till going till the last day, always the competition itself makes it much more interesting. You can say how good that competition is, right?
Exactly. I mean, you're completely right. It could have gone either ways, but I think going towards seeing their whole season so far, I think no one will say that they didn't deserve it or that they weren't, that other teams could have done better. They performed throughout the season. You could see that clearly, and so that's why if they've been crowned, champions. That's why. That's the only thing I
Yes.
think. You see their
Yes.
seasons, I think, yeah, these guys definitely deserve to win it.
The major point for me for Atletico is Luis Suarez. The man that Barca left saying that he's too old. He's won back-to-back titles. Means he's shown them that yet he is there, he is at his best, and he's there for them. So, means what do you have to say? Was it a right decision for Barca to leave Suarez?
I think there were many more things other than just, age might have just been something they said. But even with, Neymar leaving, and I don't think they figured it out. Javi Alonso left. So with only Messi left, pretty much, there's not that much left for even Suarez for himself to say. So I
Yes,
think
yes.
a lot of factors depended where even he could have, moved the wanted out of there to go to a team that had a much better chance going forward.
Yeah,
So
means, but
that's
as for the last comments and everything that were coming out last season before the start of this new season, that was that Suarez didn't wanted to move out. He wanted to play along in Barca because he loved it, and obviously his relationship with Messi was over the rocks. They are known as the best friends right now, and they still hang out. So obviously, one of those factors may be the reason which he didn't wanted to move out. But yeah, that was the thing, and he is the top scorer. He scored eventually goals for Atletico, and probably that was blessing in disguise for Atletico as well to get someone in place where they had already left in Diogo Costa. He had left in. And all Morata had come in, but with Morata you need someone experienced as well because you cannot rely on Morata really for the whole season round. Real Madrid also didn't believe in him much, so he came back to Atletico. But yeah, that was a good stand that Suarez came in, and it was a good thing for Atletico.
it was very very lucky. It was a great buy. I mean, from where Atletico is standing, it was a great
Yes.
great buy that they got. So no complaints from them.
Talking about the Champions League, the having some internet issues. Just a minute.
Okay, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so I was coming up to that going to Real Madrid, they didn't have that great season, and on the other hand, they had downfalls as well. They were struggling. They were struggling really hard this season. The major crisis where the players weren't fit enough at different times. So what do you have to talk about Real?
I think they've sort of lost their way going forward. I think it's the same thing with Barca. What happened pretty much, whenever your key player leaves or whenever your key players leave, it leaves sort of a team morale comes down in the group itself.
Yeah.
So you see that in the players themselves, the way they play, it doesn't really show much. Same with Barca and same with Real as well. So I think that's what happened here.
Yes.
Same thing, just give it some time, get some new players and get some big names like they always do, spend some money around, and then things will look up.
Yes, yes. But a biggest disappointment for them, I feel, was Eden Hazard, who apparently wasn't at all fit. You can say for the most of the season he wasn't there for them. You can say almost 80% of matches, 80-85% of matches he's missed for them. So he was the biggest hit that Real faced. On the other hand, Ramos also getting injured at the crucial point, and they were also having that issues into the forward line and everything. So Benzema alone did whatever he could with, you can say, Modric as well. But overall, they were lacking, and they are also now, you can say, Real and Barca are both into that rebuilding phase where they need to build up a team for a future again.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, especially Hazard, he was supposed
Yeah,
to be the big shot coming from Chelsea. So I don't know. I really liked him playing at Chelsea. I would have thought he would have done extremely well, but unlucky. And even with
yeah,
Sergio gone, there's no one left. It's all pretty much all new faces, all youngsters. So you just got to keep grinding till people come back.
yes. So that was about it. Means about La Liga, we can't speak much as well. The competition was though tough. Though tomorrow a La Liga team is playing tomorrow, a Premier League team, and it's a final. So we'll speak about that tomorrow eventually. I am trying to control, but it's not going to happen so easily. And yeah, we'll see how it goes on tomorrow when Villarreal takes on Man United at the finals of Europa. But now moving on from La Liga, means we've basically spoken that the obviously out of those three, the best team was Atletico because they were having the fit players and all tactics, and Simeone was all set in everything. So that was a good thing. So La Liga, in that matter of fact, was good. The other competition that we can see was Serie A, where Inter Milan were crown champions. Now, the likes of players like Romelu Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez, Ashley Young, like past
Uh,
players who were asked to move out, who were not fit in the current Man United squad, they have gone there. Christian Eriksen for Tottenham, you can say. It's a lot of players who have just walked in Inter Milan, and Inter Milan was on to another level. Means Antonio Conte had done it all. Means you can say he had that finishing touch added to Inter's games.
I mean, especially you look at United players. Like if you see Lukaku himself, he didn't find form. Honestly, he didn't find form. I won't talk about
Yes,
Mourinho having him leave or Wenger having him, playing him, but he just wasn't playing as good as we knew he could have. That's why they got him. But
yes,
the moment he's gone, he's scoring goals constantly for them. He's providing
yes.
opportunities, so it just hurts. No matter what you say, it just hurts. That's why.
But moreover than that as well, I see his physique. You see him as normally as well. He looks quite a lot fit and quite a lot built as well. Means he criticized the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that he said that he cannot run and everything. But after scoring scores, he criticized that you want a player to run. I am that, and you just wanted to. Means those are all said and done, but obviously a manager also feels who is comfortable with him to work on, so that goes on with the strength. So that was the thing with him. But Alexis Sanchez wasn't
Oh,
at all fit for United.
that
So
that
what are
was
your
such.
thoughts over that?
No, I'm gonna let it go. He's gone. I want to move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's what. That's what means. That was there. Ashley Young obviously was done and dusted. So at United, he's done whatever he could have done. So that was the thing which led him through Inter, and Inter was good as well. So with that way, it was all good for them. So you can say that was nice.
Okay. Yeah.
And apart from that, Juventus, who were not who were comfortably winning for all these years, they were in a stint of a doubt that whether they would qualify for Champions League or not as well, with the likes of Ronaldo, Dybala, Ramsey, Buffon. Means Delete at the defense. What do you have to say about Juventus?
Juventus has been a shocker. The only one I admit it has been a shocker so far, because everyone, I mean, all the bets were on them. If you would have seen a,
Yes,
online, if I would have put any money on, I would have definitely put my money on Juventus. So it was kind of shocking to see what happened. But I don't know. Even next season, I still wouldn't be sure to as to kick them out, because I mean the players are there, the team is there, the manager is there, everything is exactly the same. So I wouldn't be that easy to disqualify them or discredit them, that they can win probably, or they can go out to the top.
yes, that's there, that's there. So apart from that, another Milan team again into the top four, again into the Champions League qualification. That was AC Milan. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He is on a roll.
Yeah,
He was on a roll. Again, a
he's
United
always
player,
on.
Diego Dalot, who
He's
also
always on the show.
Diego,
And Diego Dallo on loan there, he's playing amazing.
yes, yes,
I
on
mean,
a
he's
loan.
such a, yeah, and he's
The
killing it.
prospect all, yeah, yeah, means he's giving a good competition to Van Bissaka right now, and probably United should keep him for next year. That because if we cannot buy someone as a replace as just a backup for Bissaka, Delort has performed well. Obviously, I
No, I
don't know
think
whether he would
they
like.
can get him into the first team, because Bisaka is
Yes,
letting a lot of goals go. Even though he has the most tackles in the Premier League though so far, he's costing goals, which is much more important. So I think they can get him back, and they can get him into the first league with someone who has a team experience. Dallo would be a good bet instead of Brandon Williams, say. But yeah,
yes, yes, yes. That is there. That is definitely there. So AC Milan also did good. The overall competition was good out there as well, and it was going good. So there were rumors. There were rumors that if Juventus do not qualify for Champions League, Ronaldo will leave. Do you yet feel Ronaldo is going to leave? Do you think
yeah.
any team can afford Ronaldo? Okay.
No, it's not. I think. I mean, at this point in his career, he's said it himself. He said it publicly. He's only looking for trophies. He's only looking for cups.
Yes.
That's all he wants. There's nothing else for him to achieve more. So if he can't get that here, he will definitely go somewhere else. But that is different. Who can afford to pay his salary? Who can afford to pay his
PSG.
agent?
PSG. Or do you want to see
That,
him back at United?
no, United. No, I think we're done. I mean, it would be great to see him, but no,
Yeah.
no. I think we're good. Yeah, yeah. I think he'll stay. He
That's
might
great.
have to just stay there, for a year. I mean, he's going to retire soon. What, a year
Yep.
more? 2 years more?
Yes.
He can't
Yes.
play till he's
Probably.
38 or 50.
He's not. Everybody's not Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Everybody's not Zlatan.
Exactly. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
going to retire. He's got a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, but there have been rumors that he's also stated that he wants to end his career at Sporting. So this can be one of the season where he can go because Sporting is qualified for the Champions League. So you
There you
can
go.
see him that if he wants to end the career where he started it all, this season can be it, and he could just move into Sporting and start the folding off his career. Or do you
Exactly.
think he's just pushing it till Messi is playing?
No, no, no. I think that could be it, but no, people don't change their lives, because of that. So
Yeah,
He might go into Sporting. That's a very good, that's a very good point
Yeah,
actually. He's definitely,
nice.
there's a good chance I would put.
Yeah. So Serie A was also the competition was good, but Inter Milan won it quite easily, quite evidently, and the top four race was evidently there. Napoli was into the contention for top four, but they blew it away, and Juventus obviously winning it with
Yeah.
Ronaldo on the bench and not on the field for the last match. So yeah, they definitely won it and secured the top four spot. So that was it for Serie A. So now we move on to the English league, which is known as
No,
the
no, no. I would
fastest league.
suggest to. We forgot Bundesliga. How can you
Oh,
not talk about
oh,
Lewandowski? How can you not
oh,
have the greatest
Miss,
team that is playing right
no,
now? Come on.
9 trophies on a trot. 9 trophies on a trot, and we cannot forget Bundesliga for sure. Yeah, a record-breaking goal scorer, a record-breaking season for Robert Lewandowski as well, scoring those 41 legit goals. Means, yeah, you can start over with Bundesliga, man. You can just you have
I
only
mean, I'm going to write
Bayern.
it down. I'm going to put it in writing. This is the greatest team that has ever played in Europe at any time. And I mean that sincere, like any time at all. This is one of the greatest teams they have. Attack, defense, mid, Mueller, Lewandowski. It is amazing watching these guys play. You get
Yes.
chills. You get literal chills. And in the
And
league overall, I mean, other teams are playing as well.
yeah,
It's a
Dortmund
great league
are
overall.
there. Dortmund is also playing. Dortmund having good players also. They're also fighting for it. But Bayern itself looked a whole together different team itself with the keeper Neuer. From the keeper till Robert Lewandowski, everybody looks threatening. Everybody feels like that they'll come and shoot in goals.
That
So that
mentality
is
has just stepped in exactly. That they are literal kings. So once you
yes,
get that mentality stepped in, every player has that confidence to you go forward and be exactly like no one can touch us, and that happens. They're three down and they still manage to win 5-3 against. Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah. And to be fair, we talking about Bayern and we talking about Dortmund and everything at the Bayern as a team, but you have to give the credit to the manager Hans Flick as well, who has been managing Bayern really well since couple of seasons. Obviously, this was his last season with Bayern, as he's now been going to manage the German team. So for his legacy, he's won almost all titles for Bayern in his short span. And in that aspect, if you go to see, he's done enough for Bayern in his shorter span of time as well.
Agreed, definitely. I mean, yeah, the credit goes all around. That's the best point. Yeah, there's no one person you can say this one has won it specifically. Every single person on
Yeah,
that coach and that on the team, support team, everyone deserves equal credit for what they've done.
yes. And talking about Bundesliga, Dortmund was also in contention. Dortmund have always been fighting for the spot. They've gotten the best young striker currently with them, that is Haaland,
I mean,
a really good winger who is Jadon Sancho. Russ is playing really well. Joe, he's they have quite a lot of young talent as well currently, which is there with them. And Dortmund, though they create the squad in over a young team, but they look threatening as well. They really look threatening as well.
I mean, you've seen the way Haaland plays. That guy moves, and he moves like lightning. It's amazing, especially with Sancho on his back. It's amazing the way he plays. Even the simplest hit of the ball, and it's like lightning. Watching him play is
The
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, the partnership between them has grown really well, and it felt like that. To be fair, to be honest, that I felt when he moved to Dortmund, that was that one of the season that he played with his previous club. I felt like, will he be the person who can constantly take this pressure and move on? But he has been proving absolutely wrong to me that he's been scoring goals like anything. He's also named the best young player of Bundesliga as well. So definitely that is to be there, that he's the best player. And with him, on the other hand, if you see League One where PSG is playing, they didn't won the league. Lille won the league, and PSG have uh, Mbappe with them. So if you go to see, it's the future competition that they're talking about, which is currently between Ronaldo and Messi. They're talking about Mbappe and Haaland. So that way, that guy is getting compared at so young age, and he's playing so well. He's scoring goals every match. He's scoring goals, and he's a
Yeah.
threat. So that has to be some kind of a real class that guy is having.
Yeah, I mean, every team has him on his radar. Every team wants him. No team would be, uh, he's a once in a kind player, really.
Yes. He is once in a kind player. So definitely, in couple of years, we'll see another El Clasico where Haaland and Mbappe will be standing instead of Ronaldo and Messi. Now, Haaland and Mbappe will be standing there. So talking about that, PSG didn't win in League One as well this season. The season wasn't that great as well. Tuchel had to be sacked, and they got in Poch out there. And yeah, it wasn't the greatest season for them. But the major question for PSG is, when is the time that they're going to win the Champions League? Because having a squad every time, like so freaking amazing squad. Earlier days they had Beckham in them, they had Abramovich, they had Cavani. Now at this time you have Mbappe, Neymar, the world class strikers you have, both world class strikers. So it's now or never, means it happens every year that we feel that this team is strong enough, but it's just not enough for them that they can just go through.
I mean, that's one of the cons of PSG has always been, like, no matter how much money you spend,
Yeah.
no matter how many A-listers you get, you still have to actually build a team that works together. So it's been very tough for them as well. You can see that always. Uh, I don't think because
Yes.
looking back at this season at 12, they've lost some matches pretty easily, and they've lost some matches poorly, even though they won some nicely. So it's been an up and down season. So I would say that this might not still be the season for them, but depending, Neymar has signed a contract. I think he's just renewed himself. He's going
Yeah.
to stay at PSG for another couple
Yeah.
years. So that could be a good sign moving forward for PSG itself. If one of the main strikers has committed their future, others could be persuaded as well. So could Mbappe. Looking forward to seeing what they produce in the next couple years.
Yes. So that has been overall of the other leagues that we've spoken about, almost all leagues that probably we follow, and the top clubs that we follow out there and everything. So now, is it okay now? Should we move on to the English Premier
Yeah,
League, or is any league left?
I think we're done. We're done.
So now we're moving on to the English Premier League, where we specifically follow that league the most. Okay, and that league was berserk. This season it was all berserk. As United fans, we were wanting United to go through to win, but we knew that this wasn't the season any which ways. But firstly, credits to City, who weren't, you can say, weren't even that strong to see that, yeah, they'll be the ones to clinch the title. They were behind, they were far behind, they were somewhere around sixth or seventh in the table in the initial stage. And from there, winning 20 at a trot and going at the top. So, what do you have to say about City, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, I remember clearly, even when we were talking about it, especially in Jan or Feb, when it started all for City, and that we didn't know that City was still behind, and it still looked close between United, Liverpool, and Leicester. Obviously, still at third, but impossible for it still looked there. City was nowhere in that picture. So they just kept going and going and going. So many, the highest number of clean sheets for that keeper. They've just played an amazing striking and defensive game both. Their combination has been fantastic. The players have been. I mean, it hurts me to say it, but players have been amazing. So yeah, it's just been a good season for them overall.
Yes, definitely. It was there. City had the season, and obviously Pep and his boys did it again. But the major thing was the champions. When you see Liverpool, who were champions last season, they did so well. They were fantastic in the whole season, and they had the squad to come and again. You can say they had this season as well, but injury prone and everything. So, what do you have to say about Liverpool? How did how
Liverpool was
this season was just
disappointing.
falling apart?
Yeah, I agreed. Liverpool was just disappointing overall. Even I mean, they started great. They maintained their lead, but they never managed to get away like they have done previously. So it was just disappointing watching them with such quality to not put forth, even when they have such momentum going ahead. They would fail to utilize that momentum and maintain their lead that they had. Same thing around halfway point, it happened. They started falling down. They started losing games. It affects you, especially the one they lost to United, not in Premier League, but they lost it during that same week when they were playing with us, losing 3-2 and getting eliminated from playing with us. It had a mental effect. Even though they drawed in the Premier League, it moved forward. You saw the next couple of games, they're destroying some teams 6-2, or and then they're losing 4-0 against some team that you never thought they could beat. So it's just been a devastating series for them. Third is a big deal considering where they
Yes.
were. I would say third is a very big deal for what they've achieved. I would have put them at fifth or sixth. Third is very, very big considering what they've been through. Yeah.
The blow for me for Liverpool was Van Dijk's injury. You can see the overall injury season was for Liverpool altogether, but Van Dijk was the largest threat I felt that he was there and he was facing that issue where the defense looked the defense was completely broken off for Liverpool. And then small injuries, players went out of form. Someone like Sadio Mane, who had been lethal, was also out of form. And things were not great this season for Liverpool. Yet definitely bouncing back and coming third is a big achievement for them. And speaking about that, it was all because of Tottenham, who beat Leicester on the last day itself. A team that
Yeah.
was managed by Jose Mourinho mid-season got sacked. Not mid-season, towards the end they sacked them.
Yeah.
And you could say they were doing good, but eventually they also ran out of patience, you can say, with Mourinho. They couldn't take him as well. And that's when you see Gareth Bale everywhere he's going, he's just sitting on the bench. But he came off the bench on the last day, and it was because of them that Chelsea and Liverpool qualified. Otherwise, one of them would have seen the doors out of the Champions League.
Definitely. I mean, Bale has been. I mean, especially since Mourinho went away, you saw Bale coming on and play the couple of matches last, and he's scoring. He's playing amazingly. You see him. So it's a shocker keeping your best player, out. I mean, Harry Kane wants to leave. Son, all three players, the best players in the team, and one of them wants to leave. It has an effect on what the other two will also do. So it's
Yes,
that
yes.
Mourinho, yeah, he's been, yeah, same thing happened at United with Mourinho. So he's been um he's been a horrible manager overall. He promises trophies and he's won trophies, but there's no long term thinking there. Same thing with Liverpool. That manager has, even
Yeah,
his previous clubs, he wins one, but then there's so much
yeah,
burnout in just getting that one. There's no afterthought into what
yeah.
happens the next season, what
Yes.
happens the season after that. So these managers are not long-term managers. You get them to win a trophy to silence the fans, but what next?
Definitely. Means that is the biggest question that you give so much of effort, but the next season you do not see players even going through a couple of matches as well. And you see likes of I just say a player that reminds me of Liverpool was Shaqiri. He was bought in He was an excellent player for Southampton, and when he was playing, came in for Liverpool, and right now it's like he's not seen only for Liverpool. Injuries are going through. Like manager is unable to play him. He plays at the position where Mohamed Salah plays, and the team is totally dependent. I feel the manager himself was totally dependent on two players, which was Van Dijk and Salah overall. But others were just pushing for the championship that they wanted. So that was something which you rightly pointed out, that you just players and eventually just burn them out. So that is definitely there for Liverpool. The other team that I would like to talk about first, let's go a bit lower down the table. That is Arsenal. Didn't have that great season. Mikel Arteta
Yeah.
trying
I mean,
to
they've been
get
through a lot. Yeah.
some, yeah. It's after Wenger, they are also into a rebuild stage, but that rebuild is unfortunately not been happening for them as well. They have been trying really hard to compete for the top four, top five spot, but currently they're struggling to even compete for the Europa spot. So, means what do you have to say about Arsenal altogether?
That was a very tough season. A lot of changes internally, both and from external, sources. So I think they just broke down. They've completely broken down from what they used to be. So now they have a chance to, fans aren't expecting anything. That's the good thing. No one's expecting them to come into the top four. No one's expecting them to win anything. So here's a chance where you take risk. You
Yeah.
start rebuilding slowly, slowly, slowly. Hopefully, in a couple of years, you come back into the top four, and then you go ahead and do what you can do. But here is where you take risk, where no one is expecting you to do anything. There's no pressure on the management. There's no pressure on the co-manager himself. No pressure on players. Go ahead, take
Yeah.
slowly. When lose some, no worries. But build yourself. Otherwise, there's going to be no point. Otherwise, you're just gonna go down into the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, means you see there also Aubameyang is the center stage person where they are relying for more goals. Nicolas Pepe, they got him a few years back, but he's not been there for them. Lacazette is on and off, on and off. The best player for Arsenal, I feel, is Saka, who is playing really well. I feel he's one of the best players currently in the whole team. Even Trinity is playing good. Karen Trinity, who's playing really good as well. So these are the couple of players, the couple of youngsters who are coming good for Arsenal itself. And obviously, they need to build team around them. They need to try and get that reinforcements well. That what are they looking out for? They bought in a good midfielder, which was Thomas Partey last season, but he hasn't performed that well as well this season. Probably it takes time to adjust, which usually all the players feel when they come to the
Yeah,
English club. But yeah, right now they are into the rebuilding phase and they have time. They have a couple of years time. They can just buy in some good players. They can just they have a good manager as well. Yeah, I mean, Arteta has trained under Pep, so probably for sure he's having a good set of ideas as well. That what are the tactics and how to move forward, right?
correct. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's
Yeah,
nothing else I can add here. But again, this is your core players that you have, your youngsters that you've graduated from your academy.
yeah,
You build a team around them. If you succeed doing that,
yes,
you'll have one of the best teams going forward, and you'll always be in the top four spot.
yes. So now moving on from Arsenal, the top fight for top four had a really surprising team, a surprising team to me. That was West Ham. Season West Ham had was, I felt that was one of the best season that they had. It was surprising because West Ham is known to be a mid-card team. They play in the mid and everyone, but this season they were really contesting for top four for the Champions League spot. And the way Moyes and marshaled his troops around, you see players like Declan Rice, Antonio. Then they bought in Jesse Lingard in month of January. They bought him Lingard, Sutek. Means these players definitely just changed the team overall. What do you have to say about West Ham?
The most improved team, I think, the most improved team this season, especially the second half. You're correct. I mean, you saw the attitude that they played when, especially after Lingard came in. Watching him play
Yeah,
was amazing. They're scoring goals left and right. He's scoring almost every match left and right, or having an assist every match. So even till the very last match, they had a shot going in. So
yeah,
there was no doubt about it. Everyone knew it. They had a shot going in. So there was no more underestimating them. So now going forward, next season, I hope United don't get Lingard away, and but, so they'll have to bring someone in to replace him. West Ham will have to bring someone in to
yeah,
replace him, and then build
yeah,
around
yeah,
him, figure out what the
yeah.
right combination is, and keep doing what they're doing right now. They're going to throw Chelsea
Yes.
off. They're going to throw Leicester off. Definitely.
Yeah, you spoke about those two teams now. Those two teams, specifically Chelsea, they have West Ham's main player in radar, which almost right now top teams are having in radar. That is Declan Rice. He's on a radar for Chelsea. He's on a radar for United. So Chelsea having a manager, Frank Lampard, start of the season, an ex-Chelsea player with, you can say, very minimalistic kind of experience over the managerial career. But in his time, he did fairly good enough. Whatever he did, he tried to promote the academy players, and he tried to get in those players and get best out of them. Because I guess during his time, they were banned as well from this thing. First season when he was handling, they were banned as well from the transfer. But the second season, they just went in full on with the heights likes of Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva. These were the four signings straight out of the box for Chelsea. Means, what do you have to say about the Chelsea as a team as a
They
whole?
shouldn't have let Lampard go. Personally, even though he suffered
Yeah,
quite a few losses at the end, you don't let a player like that go unless you're absolutely certainly sure. So
yeah,
he hardly got any time to make a difference. So I would
yes,
still give him a season or two more. Chelsea weren't playing that bad that they were in the bottom half of the table or in the bottom half of the first half of the league. So they still were
yeah,
in a good place to continue. So I would have had such a player. It makes a difference to your team's image as well. Having an ex-player, having a legend playing, coaching your team, coaching your youngsters is something that you want. And going
yeah.
forward now, they will always have that in their head. Chelsea will always think, oh my God, we fired Lampard.
Yeah, means obviously the Abramovich will be having that guilt from within that, yeah, I have fired a legend who has been with us, who has made us win so many trophies when he was there, he was playing with us. But yeah, they've gotten Thomas Tuchel as a replacement for him. And he's done fairly great, or not great, but he's done fair enough. But if you go to see if Lampard was also there till this point of time, I couldn't have seen Chelsea. I could have seen Chelsea easily in top four or at least for the Europa, where currently they're standing. I would have seen them there only. What do you feel?
Yeah, I agree. I think even if they weren't in top four, I think fifth or sixth, not below sixth. Definitely not
Yeah.
below sixth. And I think they should have been
Yes, yes,
happy with that. Instead of just firing a manager, they should have settled for sixth.
yes, yes, yes. And yeah, obviously for them, the spark has been Mason Mount. He's been performing really well. He's been the limelight for Chelsea. Though Kai Havertz and Timo Werner were the big names, but they couldn't do much for them. But Mason Mount has been really good, has been a spark for Chelsea this season. And yeah, that's the way I feel they are looking to build a team around him now. If they are frankly speaking to be building a team and they have to challenge for the title, they have to build a team around Mason Mount. What do you have to say for that?
No, agreed. Yeah, there's nothing more there. Yeah, they have time, but I don't think they also have the champions to come league to come in. They've qualified for that, so
Yeah.
it's going to be
Yes.
really tough. You have a busy season
Yes,
going ahead. You can't start rebuilding in a busy season. So, you know, it's tough there. Depends
yeah,
on how the manager will now play off and continue there.
yes. So speaking about that, we move on to the Manchester side, where the table has been topped by the Manchester clubs. Firstly, obviously, we've spoken about the City team that they have won the title. Yeah, we'll speak about them a bit. That who was their main man? Main man, you can say all 11 are main for them. Eventually, they were playing as a whole, so we
Yeah.
cannot deny that. But we'll come to our club, the club that we support first. That is United, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer being there, it is his third season with United as a manager. Room for improvement, he's been showed. He's clearly showed that he's improved the team a lot. And what are your thoughts? Finishing second in the Premier League this season, how do you feel being a United fan?
I think second was what, even if you looked at the start of the season or, one fourth quarter going into the season, second is something I think everyone had their sights on for United. So I would agree, it's a good thing that, we didn't drop below second. We confirmed second place. I'm very happy with that. It did look halfway around at the halfway mark that we could have won it probably. So that would have been nice, but I'm okay with it. But coming second now this year is meaning that next year we have to win it. So
Yes,
that
at
is a
least we'll have
big,
to
big
give a,
task for me, right?
yeah, to give a good competition means obviously
No, no,
12
no,
points is
not
also not a
competition.
big
We
margin.
have to win it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have to go
exactly.
for the title. We have to go for the win. That is for sure. But looking at the season, start of the season, you see, we were into the transfer market and the transfer rumors were just going berserk. Every player with United gets linked. Now, the transfer market for this season has not opened, but every player is getting linked with United. But last season, majorly we were linked with only one player that went on for 2 months, but he didn't land in United. Instead, a last day buy was Edison Cavani. Edison Cavani signing in as a free agent to United on the last day and wearing number 7. Means, what are your thoughts when you saw that Cavani is coming for at least a year at least to United?
At first,
Uh,
no, not that surprised. I think they were just looking for some experience in the front, especially with
yeah,
Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, all three of your players being there. They wanted someone with experience. You had Ibrahimovic before, you had Lukaku
yeah,
before that, so that was given for them. I think they definitely wanted someone with that experience. He's 33 years old. That guy has played over everywhere overall. He knows what to do. So they wanted someone like him. I agree there. I didn't expect much of him though. But after the first half of the season has been quiet for him. But after the second half, after Martial's injury, he has taken his chance and he has completely showed us what he is. I mean, everyone's behind him. You see that experience coming through, the young players supporting him, the passes that he's getting, the assists that he's making, and he's playing unselfishly. At this stage of the career, you think someone like that would be very selfish, looking only for himself.
yeah,
But you see him making those assists. You see him, helping youngsters, helping those people around him may do better. So it just makes you happy.
yeah. Yes, definitely. And the way he's performed as well. You see the season, the way he scored goals. Most importantly, the goals he scored. Is like, can you hear me?
Hold on.
Nah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, now it's better, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, go
So
ahead.
this season around, the way he scored his goals, the with his headers, the runs that he make, and the link ups that he's having with Rashford, and you see with him, Greenwood himself has improved so much. The link up with Bruno is so well. We've seen him coming off the bench and having that threat to the opponent that oh my god, now Cavani is here. Greenwood is gone, so Cavani is here. Rashford is gone, Cavani is here. Someone or the other is gone, and Cavani is here. You have to deal it with him. And you feel like the player of 33 or 34 old wouldn't do much of a difference, but he is excellent. He is showing the difference that he's there, that has he has created. On the other hand, Luke Shaw this season has been phenomenal. The left back of Shaw has been classy. He's been outperformed and he's really done well for United, right?
He's held his ground. He's definitely proved his worth. You see it in his playing style also. Before he wasn't so aggressive. Before he was,
Yeah.
very held back. You've seen him completely open up and accept that role that he's in. He's making runs. He's making passes. He's tackling amazingly. He's coming back for the ball. You see that effort that you want him to see in a fullback player playing. So it's Luke Shaw has been another notch down, a great player to go forward with.
Yes, yes, yes. And speaking about the defense and the back line as well, De Gea is also having a good competition with Dean Henderson, a youngster giving him a good competition altogether. The back four where Harry Maguire's worth, we can see currently how impactful he was. Though we
Yeah,
criticize that he's slow, he doesn't run back, but currently we can see that how what importance he creates and the partnership with Lindelof that he's created, that is commendable.
I
And
mean that
the
came
likes
out
of
of nowhere
Pogba
really,
himself,
because yeah. I
yeah,
mean, even
you
watching
see
Harry, you don't realize, you know, you don't realize it. Especially
yeah,
having such a, even while
the
taking corners, yeah, he always gets the ball. Any corner United has, one out of two, two out of three actually. He's always the one heading it. Even if it
yeah,
doesn't go, that's important. That's such a great important possession to get. So it's been abysmal watching the last few matches without him. I thought Maguire and Bailly, or Lindelof and Bailly would have been good. Swansea, I don't like it, so I'm not going to comment on him. But Bailly and Lindelof, I think, would have been playing well. So would have Lindelof, Maguire and Bailly. But yeah, it's just been, yeah. Bailly renewed his contract, so he's still going to be there.
yeah.
Hopefully Maguire comes back. I mean, he's not going to play tomorrow, so let's see.
Yeah, definitely. But you can see all overall as well, players are enjoying under Ole. They are playing freely, they are having fun. You see the likes of Pogba, he's been asked to push ahead, to go ahead. We've not spoken about the main man yet. That is our go-to man that has changed United. The
Yeah.
one person that has changed, it's Bruno Fernandes. What a signing he has been for United. Means you are short of words. I am assured that we are short of words for his kind of player that he is and the way we've signed him and we've got him to the United.
I mean, yeah, 100% player of the year. I just want to. I don't want to speak about him anymore. I just want to keep. I just want to think about what's going to come next season. That's all I want to think about. His influence has been amazing. His attitude has been amazing in playing. No matter, I mean, people are
Yeah.
still finding ways to criticize him. Yeah, he does let the ball go. He does lose possession sometimes. But I mean, yeah, you have to take
One
some. There has to be some negative at least. It can't be all positive.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if he's
Means
creating that much, yeah,
yeah, the player who has almost been there in all kind of goal scoring opportunities from nowhere down the line. He runs up and down. He runs box to box. A player like that, obviously, is about to lose the ball because eventually you have three or four defenders over yourself, players who are blocking you. So obviously, he's about to lose the ball that way. But it's been incredible, and we hope to see much more from him in the coming seasons as well. So yeah, that's it about United for sure. Guys, tomorrow it's going to be Man United versus Villarreal as a Europa League final, which is going to be at 12:30 a.m. And we'll be there for the pre-show where we'll be discussing the final. I and Mohak will be discussing. So we'll discuss a bit more about United out there. Even though we've discussed right now, but we keep on discussing about United as United fans. So coming on to City, the champions, standout performer for you. Just one standout performer
Aguero.
this season, not overall. I'm saying as just particularly this season. I'm saying.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, it has to be. I don't know. It can't be one particular player for them. It's going to be very unfair on any player. But the biggest MVP has been De Bruyne. I mean, yeah, if you had to pick anyone, I think that's who you would pick. The biggest MVP has been De
Yeah,
Bruyne. Because as a midfielder, you don't want to, go for a striker because that's the guy making all the plays. He's the one making
yeah.
the assist. He's the one charging forward. So
Yes, and yeah, that was it. I was myself not sure, so that's why I tried that whether you can pick one or not because De Bruyne has been there, Mahrez has been there, Phil Foden has been exquisite for Man City. The way he plays at such a young age, and players, literally pundits and everyone are really fan of them. So that's the thing, and yeah, City is by far best team because of all the 11 players being around like that with such force. So
great
yeah,
balance.
that's
Yeah,
about
great
it.
balance with them.
And speaking of yeah, yeah, speaking about City as well, on Sunday they have been going to play the finals against Chelsea, the Champions League finals. So we'll be talking a bit more about these both teams, their tactics on the pre-show as well. We'll be coming live again for these things. So stay tuned. Tomorrow, watch us at 10:30 out here. We'll be there for a short preview. We'll give our lineups. What do we think? And we just hope that both the trophies are in Manchester this weekend. There are celebration all over the Manchester. So that's about it from our side. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you, Mohak, for coming in. And we'll see you more often in this week and coming weeks as well. And thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
for having me.
everyone. Yes, thank you so much,
See you.
everyone. And please do like, share, and subscribe, guys. And please hit the bell icon as well so that you'll come to know whenever we post a video, and you can just leave in your comments and everything so that it helps us better to understand that what kind of content are you looking out for as well. Thank you so much once again, and please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Good night.